thing that made me iconic is the thing that's poisoning me now.
I tried talking to a therapist about before something that I had to do for a scene that was really rough for me. Basically, this guy had a bowl and...
When you think that porn is this, but you realize that actually it's this.
The thing that made me iconic is the thing that's poisoning me now. How to progress without hating the things you've done is... Wow, that's a big challenge. All while going through like self-discovery, it's a big challenge to progress past your current situation in a positive way is really hard.
I don't want to go into too much detail. Like, honestly, some of my experiences are really humiliating for me, and I wish that they never happened. There's stuff going on, like people getting pissed on, men are pissing inside of women's vaginas, assholes, down their throats. Sorry.
Oh, don't cry.
Told myself consecutive.
Now I'm crying. I'm like, God damn it. No, don't cry.
I'm
It's
just
okay.
giving some examples. But...
The reality is that quick money always comes with slow, big problems. And porn is not different. If you're making your money by just removing your clothes and doing sexual activity, you're going to endure long-term the consequences. Because the consequences are going to be on your mental health and physical health. There are studies that support the fact that porn has deep impact on the individual, whether it's men or women. However, it has more impact on women.
The only one that really, really scared me was Mandingo. That was like, do you know who that is?
Yeah.
That thing was just massive, terrifying. I'm sorry, Mandingo. It's just too big.
So it was too scary.
It was too, well, I did this scene, but I'll never do that again. And even afterwards, like, I felt so uncomfortable with how much I had to stretch out that, like, I went through, like, a bunch of treatments for laser tightening, like, down there.
For example, a great study has been conducted by Fisher in 2019. It's called Occupational Safety and Health Challenges in the Pornography Industry. It basically highlights the demanding and risky nature of the porn industry, especially for women, with discomfort, pain, and also injuries.
Honestly, I feel like I'm in denial sometimes and I can't accept some of the things that I've done. There is one thing that, I tried talking to a therapist about before something that I had to do for a scene that was really rough for me. Basically, this guy had a bowl and he like gagged me until I threw up into it. And then he like pissed in the bowl. And during the scene, he asked me to drink it. And I didn't know how to say no. It was one of the most disgusting, foul scenes I ever had to do. And I'm telling a therapist this, and they don't even fucking know what to say to me.
Yeah.
No one can relate. Like, no one fucking knows what to say about it.
Life is not always about pleasure. It's also about fulfillment, which is much long-lasting than pleasure. Obviously, if you only focus on short-term pleasure, you're going to seek this type of activity. Sex, drug, alcohol, and so on. When you think about the most fulfilling activity in life, this is not pornography. And you can see that people that have done pornography are going through a very hard time to find their partner. Whether we want it or not, pornography is all about the physical act. There is no emotional connection. But everyone that has done it knows that if there is no emotional connection, especially on the woman's side, the sexual act doesn't derive as much pleasure that if there is a connection. If you are getting value from this video, let us know by clicking on the like button.
If you had a child that wanted to get into pornography, an 18-year-old, of course, you would support them getting into it, correct?
Yeah, you know, you ask the most like basic, arrogant, disgusting questions.
Well, because
No, like I just need to let you know, like you're a little prick, and you're
Why?
lucky that I've even sat here this long and entertained this conversation. But yeah, I don't care as long as they're happy. But you ask all the basic, like just like just so small-minded. Like,
Thank you, Bella. I apologize for offending you.
no, it's okay. You didn't offend me. You just disappointed me. You asked me the
I
same shit
wanted to
everyone
give
else asked me.
perspective from the inside.
These are questions everyone has asked me, so
Can you give us an example of a good question?
it's redundant.
Can you give us an example of a good question?
What do you think the meaning of life is?
What's the meaning of life?
No, it's okay. I have a whole line, but thank you
I
so much.
apologize. All right, thank you.
A great study by Smith and al. In 2020 revealed a correlation between the high consumption of pornography and the lack of connection in the relationship. It also leads to lower level of satisfaction in the couple.
Men are the easiest thing in the entire world. If you are wondering how you and another woman got the same man, it is because men are the easiest thing in the entire world. I have never wanted a man and not gotten him. Do you have any idea how many men have wanted me and not gotten me? Granted, some dusties have caught me slipping. But there has never been a single man that I have wanted that I have not gotten, because men, they are cheap and easy.
His girlfriend, who was standing next to him, grabbed him by the arm and said, "I told you that wasn't her. There's not enough on her face. Let's go, babe." And I went into the bathroom and cried, and I didn't really know how to handle it, especially because it came from a woman, and especially because I was there for business, and it was something that had nothing to do with the adult industry, and I was just very dejected and embarrassed and felt like they would never want to work with me again.
This woman really believed that she got men by sleeping with them. This is wrong. Women can only get a man if he's the one that is marrying her. That's how a woman gets a man. It's not by sleeping with the man. That's a very short-term view. The older she becomes, the more she realizes that securing a man is much more complicated. Recently, she's been trying to get and secure a high-value man, but most of the men do not want to deal with her. They do not want to deal with her long-term. They might have sex with her. They will not give her a ring. They will not engage in a long-term relationship with her.
As an agent, your biggest fear was a girl calling you saying, "I got a boyfriend." You're like, "Oh my God, I'd rather you have anything right now than a boyfriend."
Do you ever have like boyfriends? Dating was really hard. People have this persona of you, especially as I like grew a name for myself. It was hard to meet someone who doesn't know who I was. And so like there was always that like fandom. They met me first in their mind as Riley, so it was really hard to like reverse and teach them that I'm Ashley. Being with the porn stars, like you don't take her to meet your mom and blah blah blah. I didn't like retire, but I just stopped shooting like boy girl porn. So it was like a choice that I made on my own, but I made that choice because I was lonely and I wanted like love and affections and stuff, and I was like, I'm not going to be able to find this while I'm performing because it makes dating really hard. Because I've dated guys and they were like, me or porn, and I was like, well, porn never gave me this ultimatum, so I choose that.
It is interesting to see this porn agent stating that the biggest enemy of porn actress is having a boyfriend. That shows the type of industry this is. It's not conducive to having a family. Similarly, you can see the testimony of this actress stating that if she wants to have a relationship, if she wants to have a family, it is better for her to quit porn. Because at the end of the day, even though she has a lot of sexual partner, that is not fulfilling. That is not love. And women deep down are looking for love. Men deep down want relationship. And no amount of money can buy respect. It is something that you earn as you live. But as soon as you step into the porn industry, you will forever lose respect. Because all of these jobs with quick money whether it is porn or OnlyFans, leave a stain that cannot be removed by changing jobs. As a man, if you want to overcome any type of challenges in your life, you're interested to join a group of like-minded individuals, I recommend you to join our locals group called the Brotherhood. Click on the link in the description below. But pornography has also a huge impact not only on women, also on men.
I feel so passionate about the porn industry because I don't believe that they should be showing those types of scenes, because it does view women as just an object, and it's not okay to do that. Like, I enjoy watching porn, like, girl, like but like, I want to watch ethical porn. I want it to be normalized, and I want it to be taught to where it shouldn't be to where a woman is being abused and is, like the male is showing aggression, because that actually is going to translate into his relationships with women in the future, his wife. Like, it's actually statistically proven that it's going to show aggression in a marriage and a relationship, and that's, how is that healthy? Like, that's not healthy at all.
Well, a lot of it is like young boys don't understand, and they think that this is normal and that's what girls want. So they've probably never been with a girl before, and they see these horrible things, and they're like, oh, this is how to please a girl, this is what I have to do, this is what she wants, and then they do these things and they act certain ways, and they don't realize the effects that they're having on women.
It is very clear that pornography has increased the objectifying of women. Men nowadays, especially when they are young, they haven't had any type of sexual activity. They watch so much porn that they end up believing that to please a woman, they have to do these extreme things. They have to do all of these practices that are quite extreme. And as a result, they come into the relationship and they try to perform all type of crazy activity. It doesn't work. They are not enjoying it. The woman is not enjoying the activity. And there's no connection in between the two of them because there's objectifying of the woman. The great study about it by Johnson and Taylor in 2021. It is about the impact of pornography on the attitude of men. It highlights that men that watch a lot of pornography tend to objectify women much more than men that do not.
There's an additional issue with pornography, which is not often discussed, which is that, remember, guys in particular, the brain is a learning prediction machine. And I'm not trying to say that all pornography is bad, but there are good data to support the idea that if your brain learns to be aroused by watching other people have sex, it is not necessarily going to carry over to the ability to get aroused when you're one-on-one with somebody else, right? Especially young kids who are consuming a lot of pornography, the brain is learning sexual arousal to other people having sex.
So you're going to program yourself into being a voyeur?
Or just create challenges in sexual interactions with peers, with a real partner.
The other side that is extremely dangerous for men is the loss of the erectile function. The more as men who are watching pornography, this is rewiring the brain to be excited and aroused by watching other people having sex. So the more we are watching other people having sex, and especially young men that have never had sex in their lives, they are connecting in their brain the logic that if they are watching someone else, then they should be aroused. But when they come to actually do the action with someone, when they come to have sex with a partner, then they are not aroused, and a lot of them lose their erectile function. For example, this study in 2018, pornography consumption and erectile dysfunction, indicate that the excessive porn consumption is linked to higher rates of erectile dysfunction among men.
Right. Mary Harrington has the 3 laws of pornodynamics, and the second law of pornodynamics is the law of FAP entropy. And it says that whatever you start out wanking to will get progressively more intense over time. And I think that this is sort of speaking to that ever sort of escalating amount of the wildness that you need to watch in order to get an ever decreasing stimulus that comes back.
Yeah, and here I'm approaching this only through the lens of biology. Anna will tell you that, and I'm sure she did, that the higher the dopamine peak, the bigger the drop afterwards. And it's not that you drop to baseline, you drop below baseline. So again, these things aren't good or bad, they just have to be controlled in a way, because When people are pursuing dopamine peaks over and over and over, and they aren't getting them, typically it's because they've been pursuing that activity far too often.
It is very clear that consuming pornography on a regular basis will lead to huge issues related to dopamine addiction. And this dopamine peak and drop, combined with the fact that you have to be in shame for your behavior, are leading individuals that are consuming a lot of porn to have challenges in their lives. And that include decreased productivity, strained relationships, and diminished sense of well-being. For example, this great study has been conducted by Grubb and al. In 2020. It reveals that men can develop an addiction to pornography, leading to increased consumption and loss of control over their viewing habits. If pornography has detrimental effect on both men and women, what should we do about it? Let us know in the comment section below. If you're interested to watch more similar content, here are the 3 things you should stop doing if you want to be successful.